When I was starting out in the SEO space, one of the hardest things I found was understanding the full SEO process. People would have videos about link building, they'd have videos about on-page, but I would rarely see people be actually open about the websites that they were building, taking people from day 0 to 6 months in, for example, showing the keywords that they were targeting and all the different changes that they were making to their website that were leading them to those results. And so I was actually about to launch this website of mine without really telling anyone and do the usual SEO thing, which is just talk about the results in a few months. But I figured that this is the exact video that I would want to see if I was a beginner, if I was starting out in the SEO space. And so ideally, I want to turn this into a little series where we can check up on this website every month and I talk about all the changes that I'm making with full disclosure. And by full disclosure, I mean we'll talk about absolutely everything. So we'll cover how I got the idea, how I built the website and all of that in this specific episode, but more importantly, the changes that I'm going to be making to this website over time. I want to talk to you guys about absolutely everything. So if I'm doing link building, for example, I'll be completely open about that. If I hire someone off Upwork to write content to target a specific set of keywords, I'll also be completely open about that. And the last thing is I want to be completely open about monetization. So if the site ends up making any money, I'll be open about how it's happening and how much money it's getting. So this can either be really cool because the website takes off and we have a great case study that I literally walked you guys from day 0 to however much money it ends up making, or the website doesn't get any traffic and it's just embarrassing. Whatever the result is, you guys will have a front row seat. So before I show you guys the website, let's talk about how I found the set of keywords and why I'm picking this specific niche. So a while back in one of my SEO strategy breakdown videos, which I honestly recommend that you guys check out, here's a playlist right here, I was taking a look at the TripAdvisor website and I happened to discover, which is actually in my video, their keyword for things to do in X, right? So things to do in Barcelona, things to do in Madrid. It's a very travel oriented keyword that's just targeting things you can do in a specific area. The crazy thing is that it really seems like they've completely taken over this keyword. And by taken over, I mean, these guys are literally number 1 for every city, town, village, rural area, honestly, anything with a postal code. TripAdvisor has a landing page and they're ranking for it and getting traffic. And so these guys are definitely the global number 1, but the interesting thing was that there wasn't really a global number 2. So there was definitely local players that were competing with TripAdvisor in the first page, second page, so on. So you'd have websites like visitbarcelona.org or enjoyspain.com. These are fake websites, but that's just an example. But I think for this niche, if you're a global player and you're ranking for a bunch of different cities in different countries, it can give you an extra edge of topical authority, and you also have a much higher potential of gaining links, which can also give you an edge in terms of domain authority. Now, the neat thing about TripAdvisor's strategy is that they weren't ranking with blog posts, right? These are landing pages built with programmatic SEO, which is something that I can definitely compete with. And one of the main reasons that I picked this specific niche is that it seems to be infinitely scalable. So think about all the cities and towns and small villages that exist, the cumulative traffic that is out there. Now, imagine you've created all of those landing pages, you're already ranking for all of that. Well, what you can then do is translate that website to Spanish, to French, however many languages you'd like. The potential for traffic is honestly bananas. And so that's the main idea, right? The idea was to try and compete with TripAdvisor exclusively for that keyword. So programmatically build the landing pages that are similar to TripAdvisor's with very solid on page with some cool results, and maybe even try and have some slightly different type of user experience. Anyway, we'll see. So let me show you guys my website. And again, guys, bear in mind, this is day 0. I literally connected the domain yesterday. So definitely still a couple things that we need to fix. So this is the website right here. So New.to, that's the domain. We can talk about that first. And the idea behind that domain was to have a cool branding related to the URL. So if I type in New.to/Paris, for example, then that would take me to the Paris page. And the cool thing is that would be so new to Paris, right? So I am new to Paris, and then you have the specific Paris page. So in the spirit of taking over this niche, it actually isn't that simple. I did have to structure my website a lot cleaner, add in countries. So now instead it's new to France/Paris, whatever. I still think the domain is quite cool. It is a 5-letter domain and it did cost me a decent amount of money. It was 3.5K when I bought it. Sounds like a lot, but I just kind of sent it. Let's see where it goes. Now let's talk about the second thing here, which is that I'm only targeting cities in France. So what's the reason for that? This is just a very simple MVP that I wanted to build as quickly as possible, launch it, see what Google thinks of the website, of the content that I've created, and then we can move forward from there. So this is the homepage. As you guys can see, feel free to check it out and give me feedback on design or whatever feedback you guys would like to give me. And the next thing is, let's talk about these pages. So these are the money pages. These are the pages that ideally are going to rank on Google. So as we can see right away, we have that H1. So things to to do in Marseille, for example, that's the city that I'm targeting. So New.to Marseille. So that was the whole branding thing that I wanted to get, right? New.to X city. And that's the reason that I paid so much money. Now, let's keep going here. We do have some breadcrumbs here. Also in structured data, I've added in some breadcrumbs. We can talk about that some other time. We also have this little section, content reviewed by our editors. I'll explain why in a second. I am using GPT 3.5, I believe at the time, to generate some of the content. So we can talk about that in a second. But let's talk about the first section here. So we have an H2 here with a related keyword. So top sites in the city, little paragraph here. And then we have just different things, different top sites that you can visit in this specific city. So if I click into this, it's just going to take me to the specific park, for example. Nothing too complicated, not monetizing this in any way right now. But the cool thing is that this was taken with the Google Maps API. So these are actually relevant results and people can explore that as they wish. So next thing is another H2 here, local experiences in Marseille. So then we have Airbnb experiences. I have scraped Airbnb. This is kind of against their terms of service. Let's see how this goes. But if you click into any of this, it'll take you to the specific experience in the specific area, which is quite cool, actually. These actually look quite neat. So hopefully this just helps me bring in more traffic. Airbnb doesn't really have an affiliate program, so not really sure how I'm going to monetize that either. Next, we have places to stay. Again, another related keyword in an H2. And we have a bunch of lists of hotels. If you click into these hotels, this will take you to Booking. And I do have an affiliate code with Booking. So I think that will be one of the main ways of monetizing. Not sure if this specific way of showing the hotels is the right way, especially because these are like the top hotels. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Next, we have attractions. Again, another related H2. And we do have a list of different attractions. So if you click into this, it'll take you to Booking. And if you buy through Booking, I will get a commission for that. And the last thing here is, again, pretty basic page, is the best restaurants in this specific area. The tough thing here was that I was scraping a specific website that didn't have great images. And so I'm trying to kind of blur them out while also showing the images. It's kind of tricky. If you guys have any advice for that, do let me know. And yeah, so if you click into any of these, it will take you to the specific restaurant on Google. Now, if you keep scrolling down, we then have a section for frequently asked questions. So again, a bunch of H3s here with the results. And I also have structured data for this specific FAQ. So we can take a look at that some other time. Now, all the text that you guys are seeing for the FAQs has been completely generated with GPT 3.5, right? With the OpenAI API. And it was honestly incredible to be able to generate so much content literally within like half an hour. So for over 400 cities that I'm targeting, I instantly created these FAQs and they look pretty good. If you keep scrolling down here, we then have the internal links where if you click into any of these, this will take you to another page where the structure is very similar, right? Programmatic SEO at its best. Similar landing pages with the exact same structure that are just targeting different keywords. So let's talk about why I have this specific section, because the main thing is that I want to be very open with Google about the fact that I'm using automation to generate some of my content. So if we actually go into the About page, and that's why I had the little link there, we can scroll down, just talking about how it's currently only available in France because of the MVP. Then we have the team. So me, my two brothers, and I wanted to have real people with real links connected here, right? To have some EAT in there. And then the editorial team. So these are actually two content writers that have reviewed the content that's been generated with GPT 3.5. And then I have a picture of Fred here, just a way of putting a face to the AI that it's been helping me with this automation technology. And again, being very open with Google about the fact that I'm using this tech. Let's see how that goes. Let's see what Google thinks of this content and of me being this open with them. And again, down here, just some FAQs that you guys can check out later. And that's the main thing, guys. Pretty limited website. Again, I am targeting more than 400 cities. So basically any city, town, village, region that has more than 20,000 people, I will have a landing page with that type of structure that ideally will rank for that main keyword. So what's my expectation for this website? It's good to talk about it now in this first video. The main thing is that I expect to start getting clicks for some of those smaller towns that don't have too much competition. And hopefully that builds over time as we gain more authority to this website. Again, this is a brand new website, domain rating 0, absolutely nothing going on. I did run an Ahrefs site audit and we got a 97, which is pretty solid. But again, this isn't an easy space, guys. I don't expect to just start ranking for Paris, for example, in the next couple of months. So it's not going to be easy, but I will walk you guys through absolutely everything. So in the next couple of days, guys, apart from fixing some basic things on the website, I'm going to be adding Google Analytics, adding Google Search Console, which is very important for the tracking of absolutely everything. I'm going to be adding a Google business profile that's going to be connected to this website. Really important just to show Google that it's a real business, that I'm serious about it, right? Don't really want to try and hide from Google. Just want to be as honest and as open as possible. Again, let's see how this goes. I'm then also going to go after some citations, maybe start doing some link building. I'm also thinking of launching on Product Hunt. We'll give you guys an update on that. Maybe next month, we'll see how that goes. And the main thing thing is, I'm just curious to see what Google thinks of this brand new website, right? Whenever you're launching a brand new website, it's always quite tricky. Now guys, let me know what you guys think of this video, if you guys are even interested in any of this. And if you guys have any feedback on the website, on design, or any of the content, do let me know, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.